right. All right. Looks got this here. Frank, there's a whole lot of different about you here today. You got a hat on. You got a non-Starbucks coffee. You got a tall glass of water.
Yeah,
Everything good?
it's getting wild, this cutting loose. There's a little coffee shop down by us called Cafe Positano. I remember the first time I ever went there, it was the funniest thing I'd ever seen for me at the time. There's a sticker that says, "Attention robbers, no money kept here." And I remember taking a picture of it and putting it on Twitter back when I had a Twitter account. It was like 15 years ago. Been going there ever since, and they just don't keep money. They're afraid of getting robbed in a city where it's basically old people and their grandparents. So, I'm pretty sure they're not gonna, but just in case, they don't keep money. Yeah.
They don't keep any money there. I
No,
love
they
it.
don't, but they make pretty good coffee. This old school latte with real milk, and that's how you have to order it now. Otherwise, it's confusing to people. They're
You
like,
have the oat milk. You have
yeah,
it's just so many varieties.
just put some asbestos in mine, please. Yeah, like what's the oat milk gonna do with it? Yeah, what are we doing with it? I don't know. So just give me a call with the stuff that people have ordered forever. Do you want cinnamon? No, just coffee with
Just
the milk
coffee's
in it.
fine. Yeah, and this goes back. And you're Frank. I know. Yesterday you probably thought I was crazy. You're like, man, this guy's asking me the same question 4 different times. And
Dude, welcome to 26 years of my life. And thank God for it, or else I wouldn't have a job. I've been saying do the stuff that works more and follow up with people more for 26 consecutive years, but just like different ways.
and I'm like, I left the live, and I'm like, man, I asked that. It got me because I was looking on the chat, and the chat was like, hey, what do we do with this? And I'm like, oh, I mean, that's a good question. It was a good question to me because I didn't have 100% clarity myself, which is crazy. And this is where they say stay around people a little smarter than you. Always stay learning, right? Be the smartest guy with other smart people. I'm like, wait, what am I doing here? What's going on? And it started to click. Keep it basic, and that's where like the basics. It's like we take it for granted, man.
Dude, it's like well, I can't remember. There's some boxing thing, but it's like just get real good at punching someone in the face. Forget all the other stuff. We don't want to encourage that, but like kind of the same thing. When you watch all those boxing movies and and you got the new kid and he's like amazing with all this stuff, and then the old coach is like, "You got to keep the fundamentals, kid. It's all about footwork and your jab." And then it changes everything because the guy's just doing like these two things properly. It's the same thing, but we're avoiding actually hitting other people, please. I don't want to encourage that.
Yeah, I agree. It looks like we're live here. So look, y'all, if you're tuning in, and this is like for me, like I forgot we were live here for a second. I mess around and get myself in trouble here, but
I have my list of things to say that can definitely get you canceled. We need to say them.
Don't do that.
Birds aren't real.
But I will say, the power of the conversation, Frank, is so important, right? We were talking for like a good 20 minutes. Almost forgot we had to go live here, just about talking shop. And what I remembered yesterday, where you were talking about framing and the conversation with business owners, is just have them like you first, and then help them solve their problem.
Yeah, you don't even really have to get them to have to try to get them to like you. You just have to
Be able to talk to them.
Be a normal person and not try to be like who you're not, and be like, yeah, man, here's this thing, and as you can see by looking on Google, you have this problem. Maybe you don't care about it. I don't know. If you don't, it's cool, but if you want me to help you, I'm happy to. And like that's all, and then like just little baby steps. It's all like kind of a progression leading up to them, hopefully. And they don't always, but leading up to them going, okay, well, how much is it? And that's when you almost got them. I mean, you can still mess it up or whatever, but that's our mission, is to get them to ask you that question. How much?
Mike Shaw agrees here, man. Success is the follow-up. Is just getting it done, right?
Yeah, just showing like the person.
And the birds are real, he said.
Remember the name. But whoever the person was yesterday, and I'm sorry for not remembering your name, but it has been more than 30 minutes. The door-to-door guy, still like hero. We need a poster of that dude.
That was
I've got
Bill.
a client named Mike Heisted that has also done that door to door. And I'm like, dude, you can do anything. Like, you don't understand. You've just displayed superhuman resolve, you know. So I'm not advising people to go door to door, but if anyone's ever done that, this is nothing
Yeah.
compared to that.
No, I agree 100%. Well, look, y'all, looks like everyone's kind of jumping on in here. We got a nice little crowd flowing. If you can tune in, let us know where you're tuning in from. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Want to
The
give a
same
big
room
shout
I
out.
was in yesterday. Oh, you're talking to them, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Frank, we got to work today, man. Feels like we're on the traffic radio station here. We're getting ready to talk traffic and news here. So
Yes. Today, everything out there is still extremely dangerous and it's perilous, and you should worry about something. What you should worry about coming up after our commercial break about how to worry more. Back to you, Bob. That's right, John. We are absolutely terrified. That's pretty much the news, I think.
I love.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't watch it.
Yeah. Well, we got Cheryl from Jamaica. We have Brett here from Atlanta, Georgia. We got Rudo from Netherlands. We have Milania here from Vancouver. So thank you so much all for tuning in. We got Mike here from Leewayton, UK, Shelley Ward from Vancouver, Kim Robinson from Australia, Kenyon Curtis from Gilbert, Arizona, Elizabeth, Vermont in the building, Go Dodgers, repeat here with Remus in the building. We got a lot of great people here. The awesome part about this, Frank, is that when we do these types of events, it's like a mini networking event. Everyone's getting to know each other. Everyone's getting relatable. And what I like for y'all to do here, because we're about to get started here, Frank, if you want to get your slides ready to
Oh, yeah.
go.
I
Um,
forgot to hit share
is
screen.
yeah, I'll plug it right in here. Is what wins have you had so far? Did you get to send out that email? If you sent out that email, just post a photo of it. Just let us know you at least shared it. If you got a response back, good, bad, ugly, or in between, let us know what that was. And more importantly, if you have a win to share that you've used with High Level, let's say you got your first paying customer 2 weeks ago. Let's celebrate it today. Let's say you had 10 appointments and four of them were shows, and you got two that are maybe some big deals. Let's go ahead and share some of those wins today because that's going to set us up as we finish up today and what we got to do to start getting customers right before the holidays start really fully kicking in. And Frank, the holidays, people are cheerful, they're joyful, they want to get ready for their business for next year. They're generous.
Dude,
This is
it's mating season for money, is what I call this. So this is the mating season for money because people are in spend mode. Consumers are too, but also the business owners for two reasons. One, they want to like take advantage of the holiday rush, so anything that can help them do that is great. And number two, you know, don't listen to me for tax matters, but generally speaking, a lot of business owners, if they can write something off in the last quarter and they can find more stuff to write off, then they'll do it because you don't want to have a big profit balance showing at the end of the year, you know, legitimately write it off, like no shenanigans. So we got a good double advantage happening. I remember my first customer for High Level, September 23rd of 2022. So I almost get the days wrong there, date and year wrong. And it was a lady, and her name was Jessica. And I was like, oh my God, I got the first one. Yeah, it's surreal. And I'd been a customer for over a year before I started like selling it under my own label and stuff. And I'll never forget that. It was awesome.
and Patrick just got his first paying client 2 weeks ago, which
Nice.
is really awesome. We got Derek who just let's see here Kolke AI Learning. First customer paid on November 3rd, 2025 for $125. Um, Pretty cool stuff, Frank. I think once people get that first paying customer, they demystify this potential of, is this even possible? They figure out that this is not anything but you running a business with you having full control and us just here to help you. Frank, without further ado, let's get into it if you don't mind. I'm going to go ahead and share your screen.
We will get jiggy with it, as we say at NASA, where I used to work as a chief engineer.
I got to
Not
hide the
true.
message
Yeah, I didn't really.
Wait,
For those who might be wondering,
I can't
that's
see your
not really
screen here.
true.
Could you share your screen,
Oh,
Frank?
I thought I did, man. I'm sorry.
I think I might have closed it by accident.
It's showing on the
Oh,
side thingy.
all right. Well,
Let's
look,
see.
y'all, what we're going to get into today is day 3, getting your first paying customer, the Frank Kern expertise way. Frank, has built a software platform on top of High Level, has paying customers, has taught marketing for decades, is a staple in our ecosystem at in-person events, is probably one of the more friendliest marketers you'll ever meet in person that'll talk with you and just have a good time and help you really understand what you need to do. And he'll tell you straight. So without further ado, I want to invite you to help me welcome Frank. Throw some rockets in the chat below, throw some fires. Let's make him feel welcomed here as he just
Just
unpacks what day three
all
is all
sorts of incendiary devices. Throw them at Frank.
about. All about Frank.
You got your grenades, the little bomb thing. Let's throw some of those rockets, fire, lightning bolts.
I'm going to go hide myself here, Frank. I'll be if you need me, all right?
All right, man. You can see the screen okay? I think so. Yeah. All right.
Yes, sir. Yes,
okay,
sir.
we're good. Okay.
Screen's good. Screen's good.
Yeah. Only been doing this 26 years. I still get confused by the Zooms and stuff, but I like this platform. We're using something called Restream for this. For any AV dorks out there like myself, pretty neat. All right, so here's our mission today. First day, we hopefully de-weirdified everything. It's like, all right, it's really not that big of a deal. We're selling something cool to people that need it, and we're not going to overcomplicate it. Yesterday, we hopefully sent the magic email. I like that name. Came up with it last minute, but the magic email freaking works. So it's pretty good. So today we're going to deal with, okay, what happens when they actually want to talk to you? And that's, I remember like almost every one of these I've ever done, there's typically someone who has a really big, I guess I'll just say it, like a fear of, dude, what am I going to do if someone actually wants to talk to me? Like, this is terrifying, because I'm scared I'm going to say something stupid or whatever. And you might, and it's okay. And if you're super nervous, I'll tell you the secret. All you got to do is say, I'm really new at this and I'm super nervous. So like, just kind of take that into account. And the person on the other end of the call or conversation, they're cool because they're people, and most people are inherently good. Except for those Canadians. I'm kidding. They're the most polite people ever, so they're kind of fun to pretend like you dislike them, but that was a joke. All right, so that's what we're going to do, and I'm going to walk you through this conversation process, and I'm going to be redundant by giving you kind of two ways of doing it, and I don't know why I designed it this way, but it seems to work. All right, so let's go. You know what happens when you press the space button? Nothing. Okay, so maybe I should use the mouse here. Come on, move forward. There we are. All right. So all we want to do is just show them. First, let me frame it. You sent them the email. You ain't got no reviews. These other fellas got reviews. We ain't gonna let that stand. I'll help you with this for free. Okay. So we first want to honor that promise and not bait and switch them. Okay. So we're going to show them how to solve the problem without charging them any money. And then our mission is to let them naturally conclude that it would make a lot more sense if they just let you solve the problem for them. And then they'll ask you these questions. So that's what we're getting to. And when I say demonstration, I don't mean we're going to open up High Level. You can just steal these slides if you want to. You ain't got to open up High Level and do all that. Like, don't do that. That'll just confuse them. I'll be like, what's that red button? Like, no, don't do that. All right. So here we go. You're on the Zooms, all right? And they responded to the email and said, sure, you can be in person if you want to. I can't imagine, but I'm an introvert and very strange. All right, so like any conversation you open, this random chit chat, all right? And here is version number 1 of this, which is the no script, super chill version. This is the version I like. So I'm going to give you 2, and they're both the same, but the second one's going to have like actual stuff in it. But I'm just like following bullet points because I can't follow a script because of the ADHD and what have you. All righty. So don't know why I call this alternate approach. So the first thing you do is, don't forget, they reached out to you, by the way. All right. And we've offered to help them for free. So we're going to show them how to do it for free. Let them ask us how they can pay us. Your rapport plus confession. Rapport is, hey man, how's it going? Yeah, y'all over there on Cherry Street? Oh, that's cool, man. Yeah, I used to go down to Rivalries all the time in college, played a lot of shows down there. It was fun. Blah, blah, blah. That. Okay. Confession is, all right, just so you know, I, I don't like do this a lot. I'm kind of new to it. I'm a little bit nervous. I'm not a professional salesperson or whatever. So, just kind of take that into account. That's all. Unless you're a professional salesperson or whatever, then don't say that. But most people aren't. And I think it's okay just to tell them. People appreciate the honesty and it relieves you of the need to try to pretend like you're a professional salesperson. So that's your big confession. All right. So then you just start asking them questions. All right. We know they have reviews because you already saw that they have reviews because of the tool thingy that we went over yesterday. So you're like, all right, man, how do you get reviews now? They'll tell you. And there's no answer that's right or wrong. You just want to know and get them on the topic. Now, remember, they have requested to talk to you specifically about reviews. So we're not going in here cold. Like, they understand the purpose of the conversation. So, all right, they'll answer. Doesn't matter what they say. They'll just answer. Okay. So then, cool. Do you know how many reviews your competitors have? They may answer. They may not. They may be right. They may not be right. It doesn't really matter. It's just as long as we establish that their competitors also have reviews. That's all we're trying to do here. So there's no, like weird thing going on. We're just getting them to acknowledge that they in fact do get reviews, and their answer to the "how do you get reviews now" question is typically awful. So like, well, Jimmy's supposed to hand out these cards and he don't. And then some bitch, I told him 1,000 times. So people just, well, they'll give us one or something like that. And that's like perfect, or they'll tell you about this god awful, convoluted, extremely impossible process to follow that nobody follows in their business. And that's awful for them, wonderful for us. All right. The competitors thing, we're just highlighting the fact that other people got reviews too. That's it. That's really the point of that question. All right. And then I keep thinking I should hit my space button to go to the next point, but it's right there. Wait, all right. I'm assuming that you want more than them, and you can ask the question like that. They'll either say yes or no. If they say no, which I've never heard anyone really say before, then I think my response to that would be like, I don't want this to sound weird, but why are we talking? What do you want me to do for you then? And not in a confrontational way, but that's how I would handle that question. And then maybe there's another motivation for the call. Like, I don't know. But overwhelming majority, meaning I've literally never heard of anybody saying no to that question. They want more reviews than the other guys because it's an ego and significance thing, like we talked about yesterday. There's logic to it, which is okay. With the one with the most reviews must be better according to basic human psychology. But then from their standpoint, there's ego and significance. So answer is probably going to be yes. All right. So, okay, cool. You want me to show you how to get more? Because that's what you promised to do anyway, in the email. And they'll say yes. Once again, I've never ever heard of anyone saying no. In the event they were to say no, I would once again say, well, I don't know how to say this without sounding weird, but why are we talking? And then they might just be wasting your time, or there might be some other thing. But it's one of those where we're trying to solve a problem that probably doesn't exist because I've never heard of anybody saying no. All right. And then you show them how to do it. And it's not really a demo. I'm going to show you the slides. You can just steal them if you want to. And at the end, you'll be like, you want me to do this for you? Or you don't even really have to ask that. All right. So that's like the outline of it. And a lot of people want more structure than that. So I understand it. So I'll walk you through, and I did this. I don't know. So far, so good. Everyone seems to have found benefit in this, but if I had to do it over again, I would give you the scripted version, then show you how to do it. So let's say they say, yeah, man. All right. We ain't pulling up no high level. All right. It's awesome, but it has 852,000 squared features. I think, JB, you know how many developers y'all have now? I think it's over 1,000. It's unbelievable. Like, they have a population of a small country. constantly making new stuff in there. So we don't want to pull that thing up and have them get sidetracked, So say, all right, well, first, this doesn't really move the needle a whole lot, but it helps to have these. We'll make you a bunch of these cool things with a QR code. So when someone's standing in line or whatever, if they're feeling nice, then they could leave a good review by scanning their phone. Now, the reason I recommend that you tell them this isn't really going to do much is because if they're getting reviews already, they probably have these, and these really don't move the needle. That it's better than not having them, but that's not, oh my God, this is the big secret. That's not the big magic. It's cool to have, but it's not going to change their life or anything. But still, all right, first, instead of saying wheel design, by the way, you just say, all right, first, you want to make sure you have this stuff. Okay. This isn't going to like change your life, but it will get you some reviews because some folks will do it. And if you can train your staff to get people to do it, then, that'll be great. But you know how that goes. Staff, all the stories I've heard, right? So on to the next one, right? Next, instead of wheel, I don't know why I have that written, what you need, and this is important if you really want to do it right, so you need an email and a text message review request to go out to these folks. And it needs to be like a template based thing that anybody can use. So your team can just fire it off whenever you have a happy customer, or even better, and if it can be automated, but like that has to happen. If you're not asking for them, and if it's not like the same template every time, that means A, you're not getting them. And B, if it's not the same template every time, that leaves room for somebody on the staff to say something dumb. And I don't know about you, but most business owners are constantly angry at their staff for not following instructions, which is true. So they're going to be able to relate to that. So we're just teaching them now. So we're not telling them, hey, high level, like we're just like, you need something like this. Right? See this? This is an example of one. But like this is a big deal. If you don't ask, you're not going to get it. So you understand my point. All right. So now we got this. All right. So now this is important. You need something. So when they click the review request thingy, it'll open straight into the leave a review thingy. You can say thingy or whatever on your Google business profile. By the way, they already have a Google business profile because of the little tool we showed you yesterday. So it'll open right there on the Google business profile. So all they got to do is tap the stars and type. So you wanted to like remove all possible work for them, because a lot of stuff, like I don't know whatever you're using now, but people have to log into things. It's a pain. No, we don't want to make them do that. Okay, so this is important. You really need something that works like that, so it's easy for your customer to leave you a review. Like personally, this has happened to me. I my doctor was like has this automated review thing, and it's horrible. And like, will you leave a review? I'm like, of course I will. And I click to leave a review, and I've got to log in to create an account with like Yelp or something. And like, how in the hell do I didn't leave reviews. It was hard for me as the consumer. I was like, God, hell. So it's a real important thing. So we're not telling them that high level does all this and this is how cool high level is. We're like, dude, you need something that does it like this. So this is the secret. All right. I think you get it. Okay. So next, you also, if you want to, I recommend it, but it's up to you. It's a real good idea to have a thing that shows your 5-star reviews on your website and make it so it can be updated really easily, because like, think about this. Like you're looking at website A that doesn't have any reviews or has like 2 versus website B that just has a wall of them. Which one are you going to choose? And like, exactly. They'll answer the question like, exactly. So you need to be able to do this. This is important. It's going to move the needle for you, and it's cool. And you want to make it so, you can change the colors and stuff. Obviously, you don't want it to look weird on your web page or whatever. All right. That's all. So I keep saying like wheel, but pretend I'm not. Just you need this because we're teaching them how to solve it. We're living up to our promise we made in that email. We don't want to freaking bait and switch anybody because they could figure out how to do this if they wanted to on their own. They ain't got time for it, but they could. And now we're living up to the promise. We're helping them. We're not charging them for this information. Okay. man. It happened yesterday at the same time. All right, we're back. No, I can't see the chat. Did it vanish for a minute, JB?
Frank, I'm here.
Okay.
Did
I
you
saw
work?
on my side, it just like went blank for a second and it did that thing it did
Did the
yesterday and then
power
it
go
came back.
off? Are you okay over there?
No, like you remember yesterday when we were talking and I like cut out and was gone for a minute and it came back? That just happened, I think. But maybe it just looked weird on my end. I'm just
You're
making.
here. You're alive. You're well. The
Okay.
screen's still flowing.
Good.
You're just
Yeah.
trying to give me a heart attack.
No, man, it just turned blue over here. Like, oh, I was like, oh man, it did it again. But we're good. Okay. So this is like just showing like, all right, you like whatever the thing that you put on your website is, just make sure you're able to change the colors, because if your website's purple and the only widget is this bright green, it's going to look weird. You know what I mean? But make sure you can do it however you want to, and you're not stuck with some lame design because otherwise it kind of backfires on you. So simple. We're not even talking about highlight. We're just saying these are the ingredients you need to make a cake, metaphorically speaking. Okay, so, and this is where it gets cool. You need to have a system, and like, man, I cannot tell you how important this is. Don't rely on the 19-year-old kid in college that washes dishes or whatever to do this on the side as part of their daily responsibilities, because we all know how that goes. You need a system that will automatically turn your 5-star reviews into social media posts and post them for you so that everybody will see them, because it just raises the awareness of your brand. It's like free advertising. And it's cool. You want to show it to the world. Like, you want people to know that you have happy customers or not know. Like, obviously you do. So that's a very, very important thing. And it's a big deal that whatever you're using, it needs to automate that process so you don't have to think about it. All right. And you're like, okay, cool. So off we go. And ideally, if you really, want to be like on top of this, and especially if you're getting a lot of reviews, because you don't want to be like posting 14 of them a day or something, it's a good idea to have something that will allow you to plan stuff out. So in case you get a ton of them, you can schedule when they get posted, and it's possible that you could actually have that situation. If you get 10 positive reviews in a day, you obviously don't want to post all 10 of them and spam the internet, like kind of joke around about it. So just whatever you're doing, make sure that it gives you this ability to schedule them if you want to. And all right, cool, great. Okay. And then I don't know about this part so much. Oh, yes, I do. All right. So that's the demo part. So now this is me going back to, now you see how easy that demo part was? I'll show you how we close in a minute, but I wanted to get the demo out of the way. Like, that's the demo. Don't open freaking high level. You're just explaining this is what you need to do, because it's not rocket surgery. We don't want to get into highly technical shit. This is like, yeah, here's the ingredients, and you need these. And if you use these ingredients, no matter where you get them from, if you put all this stuff together right, then it's going to be cool. All right. So now for the folks who need more structure, okay, this is kind of the same thing as my unscripted bullet point version, but I've just written stuff out for folks who need more guidance. And I understand your need for more guidance. I just don't. I ain't real good at following the more than an outline. So same conversation, but I'll just kind of read samples of it. All right, this is the rapport and the that first stage, the rapport and confession thing. All right, I know we're both busy and I want to respect our time, so I'll get us started here. I've got us for 15 minutes for our appointment, and I'd like to start by asking a couple questions about your current situation. And after that, if you want me to, I can explain a little bit about our service and answer any questions you might have. And then if you want it to try it, great. And if you don't, no problem. But, and I should have added this in there, regardless, I'm going to help you get more reviews today. And that's on me. Cool. There you go. That's how you start the conversation. And psychologically, you let them know that they're not stuck with you forever. It's only a 15-minute call. You're also setting an expectation that you're in control of the call. You're going to ask them some questions. They can ask you some questions. Maybe you'll work together, maybe not. There's no pressure. All right. That's kind of the point. Okay. If they say they're busy, oh man, I'm busy, then for the love of God, don't be like, oh, it's only 5 minutes. Like, okay, cool. I'm going to send you a link to my calendar. You can reschedule whenever you want. That's it. Don't try hard to get them to reschedule, because for people who sent the magic email and got replies, whether they were positive or negative replies, you see for yourself, there are people out there that will respond to you, and there's a lot more of them than they are of you. So my favorite word is no or next, so like, all right, cool, next, here's my link, reschedule whenever you're ready, got to go, there's got 1,000 more just like you, and there's one of me. I don't say it like that, but that's my attitude, because it's true. I don't care if they buy or not. There's a million of them. It's like, oh, I didn't catch that fish over there. Thank God there's 800 billion other of them in this small pond, So assuming they, have enough time, which most will, is hyper local. That's the difference between dealing with people in your town and then just like random, people on the internet. So you're right. Okay. Like I talked to you about when I reached out, according to what I found, and you probably saw the same thing, if you're like most people, you immediately did a Google search after you got my email. You got about 72 reviews in Google. And did you notice how that compares to your competitors? Yes or no? No wrong answer. Maybe they'll say the thing I have for them. Maybe they won't. There's really no wrong answer that they can give you, other than something completely off the wall, like, nuh-uh, and then they're just like, oh, well, maybe I made a mistake. I've got my phone here. I'm going to do a search, and this is what I see. What are you seeing? And, but I've never heard of that happening. Point is, this isn't one of those objection problem situations. So they'll tell you whatever the answer is. You're like, all right, cool. Even if they're wrong, it doesn't matter. We just want them to acknowledge that they have reviews, and their customers or their competitors have more reviews than them. Some, but not all. That's all. Period. That's it. All right. So yeah, that's super common, but it's kind of important, because generally, the more reviews, the higher you're going to rank in Google, and a lot of people like search on Google, to find places to eat or whatever it may be. We're sticking with restaurants because we can all relate to. They'll either agree or not. And if you're like, well, I don't know if that's necessarily true, and you can be like, well, maybe it isn't. That's how I find people. But do you want more reviews than these guys? And if they say no, then you could default to, well, why are we talking? But I've literally never heard this type of thing before. I'm just like trying to help that one person who's overthinking it. Like you can always default to, well, dude, why did you tell me to call you? What you must want something. Surely it's not my sparkling personality. Like, how can I help you? And then find out what they want. All right. So this is, again, the scripted version, of the same thing. All right. Well, when you get a review, do you have a system in place to reply to it and stuff? It probably not. I mean, most people don't. But if they do, great. Doesn't matter. All right. If they say yes, for example, let's just say they said, yeah, all right, good. I'm glad you have that, because, you probably know, like, when Google and when other people see that, you're replying, those replies are a sign of an engaged business. And that makes sense. And they typically are going to give you a little bit more, push than a stagnant business that just ignores everything. And it'll either make sense to them or not. And it doesn't matter what they say, unless it's like, but again, never heard of that happening. And if they do say no, be like, oh, well, but I didn't know that. I learn something new every day. Just to make sure I'm actually being of value to you. You do want more reviews than these other dudes or not? Let them answer. If the answer is no, then off they go. Extremely unlikely, feasibly possible, but again. Okay. This is you, all right? You ever thought about showing your best reviews on your website as social proof, like all the latest and greatest and stuff? Whatever their answer is, Doesn't matter. Okay, cool. Well, if you're like me, and like most people, you probably read reviews before you go to a business, and they'll probably say yes. If they say, nope, I just freaking go, then okay, cool, man. Well, you're brave. Whatever. There's no wrong answer to it. They're talking to you because they know they need more reviews. Otherwise, they would not have requested to talk to you. Remember, these people asked you to talk to them, and it is not cold calling. All righty. So, last question for you is give or take, and this is optional, by the way, but it's framing for any price resistance, which would be incredibly stupid if anyone had price resistance on this, but you never know. Be like, how much, like, roughly is a new customer worth? So let's say they're a barber. I pay like $25 or something to get my hair did. Maybe it's 40. I don't know. It's not enough to worry about, but I go like once every couple of weeks. So my barber would probably know. He'd be like, let's say $150. Great. Okay. That's all you got to know. All right. And now you would just recap. And this is way harder than the unscripted version, but I'm just doing this for people who like the structure, All right, cool. So to recap, that these other horrible people have more reviews and potentially better reviews, and they're probably getting more traffic than that. And you understand that, if you reply to the reviews and stuff, then that's good. And if you don't, that's bad. And you also know that showcasing your best reviews on your website and social media is probably a good idea than not. And your average customer, if I heard you right, and they're worth about $150, And at this stage, you can say, I definitely see an opportunity to help you move the needle on this kind of stuff. Do you want me to show you how to do it? And that's where, at that stage, you would do the demo. All right. And now you just follow the slides there. Personally, I like the unscripted version better. It flows natural. It's easy, but some people are real good with scripts. So either way you want to do it, it doesn't matter. Big fan of unscripted. All you got to do is like, you want more reviews, right? Okay. These other dudes got more reviews than you. Do you want, you're hoping to get more than them. Yeah. No. Yeah. Okay, cool. Got it. You got to play a way you're getting reviews now. Right. Cool. Okay. And, that's like easier. So then we show them the same slides. And that slide thing was deliberately simple because we don't have to convince them that reviews are good. They're already sold on that. We just need to show them that there's a way to get more the end. And we don't have to say, that it's you. So it's the same stuff. All right. So I'll skip all the redundancy there, because it's literally the same slides. I don't know why I built this twice. So here's the closing question. All right. Instead of saying, so that's our system, actually, you can just use this exactly. You can say, so that's our system. So we have that already built. And of course, if you're like a real good at computers and stuff, you could probably figure out how to duct tape some stuff together, whatever you want to do. But it makes it easy to, get more reviews and traffic and conversations and convert them into customers and stuff. And it showcases your reviews and does all the stuff that I just showed you. So it's pretty cool. You have any questions that I could answer for you about how this stuff works or how you might deploy it or anything? I'm here to help. And then they'll ask stuff. And eventually, if not, the first question they ask is, how much is it? And that's what you're getting to. So doesn't matter what the question is, answer it to the best of your ability. If it's a technical question, you don't know the answer, here's the perfect answer. Dude, I have no idea. Like, I also don't know how my iPhone works. Like, I just know that it works. And like, well, do you have any like case studies I can see? Like, what? You're the first person I've ever talked to. The service that I use, I sell the software, is called High Level, and it's used by however many, 100 or million people around the world. So let me pull up their website for you. So I have an arrangement with these folks where I'm allowed to provide their service to you. But yeah, a ton of people use it. It's been around forever. That's how you get over the case study or testimonial thing. And then blah, 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 blah. And if it goes silent and they still haven't asked you how much yet, say, what else can I answer for you? Eventually, they're going to say nothing or how much is it? Most of them are going to say how much is it? And that's when, okay, this is very high pressure. Whew, it's almost boiler room. What you do is you tell them and then you stop talking and wait for them to say something. Whenever I have a slide on this, yeah. All right. I don't even really do this part. I just tell them and wait for them to say something. So this is the part where you're just telling them, if you want, you can do a setup fee and then like waive the setup fee if they make a decision today or not. Doesn't matter. Whatever you want to do. Personally, I don't mess with that stuff. I just want a whole bunch of people. I want to remove as much friction as possible, So you just tell them, and then this is the magic. Don't say anything else. And this stalemate them. And eventually they'll have a question or they'll be like, okay. Or they'll say it's too expensive or whatever. Or they'll be like, shit, all right, great. How do I sign up? That's what you're going for. So if they have questions, answer them. If they have objections, here's my favorite. Okay, cool. Is there anything else I can help you with today? I don't want to talk you into anything, so it sounds like it might not be for you. And I've got a whole lot of appointments because there's a lot of people out there. Anything else I can help you with? A lot of time that brings them back. They're like, oh, yeah, no, dude, I'm good. Let's go. So I'm not in a big objection overcomer person because I believe that there are way more of them than there are of me. It's like, okay, have fun with less reviews, dude. It's your choice, And that's kind of the whole trick. Hardest part is not overcomplicating that and not talking about the features and all the other stuff and not going off the rails and, not getting freaked out and not answer. Let them ask question. Answer. What else do you want to know? Until they ask you how much it is. And then it's a much easier sale, especially if you're not trying to charge an arm and a leg. You know what I mean? Like that's the magic. I wish there was a way to overcomplicate that so it could sound smart and sophisticated, but there's not. But that works. That is a very good selling system for this. This is me saying the same thing, but when they're ready to order, this is important. They're like, all right, cool, man. What you want to do is like, you just assume the sale. So like, let's say you're on Zoom or whatever. You're like, all right, man, cool. Type in this website for me real quick and give them your site. It could even be a like link to a Stripe payment page. It doesn't even have to be your website. Like you just send them in the Zoom chat. All right, I just sent you a link. I want you to open that up on your web page. I'll wait for them to open it up. Like, all right, cool. You want to share a screen so I can help you out? Just turn it off when you're entering your credit card number. I don't need to see your credit card number. I'm like, yeah, all right, cool. And then make them fill out the order form right there. Don't let them get away with this. Okay, I'll do it, because they won't. And a lot of times because they get sidetracked. Like I have a business and I've got 8,000 things competing for my attention at one time. And I tried to isolate myself in a tiny closet to hide from the outside world, and I still get distracted. So like make them sign up right then, don't let them not. If they're like, oh, I can't do it right now, just be like, dude, okay, shoot me straight here. I'm not going to chase you for money because I wouldn't want anyone doing that for me. Is this your way of like politely telling me you don't want it, but you just don't want to tell me that because it'll hurt my feelings, because I don't want to like bother you? And then get to the root of it. And they're like, oh no, dude, I'm cool. I'm like, great. Well, I just sent you the thing. Like, you can fill this out. It takes 10 seconds because I'm like can't take on 1 million clients. And I want to make sure I do a good job for you and have time. So let's go. Here, click the thing. That's it. All right. That's all you got to do. And there's no arm twisting. There's no answering 2,000 technical questions, perfectly acceptable answers. I have no clue. It's fine. They're not going to be like, well, you should. Like, they're busy. The dude's a mechanic. He's got people waiting in the waiting room mad because their transmission's not fixed yet. Like he's got stuff to do. You're going to be all right. Okay. So off they go with that. And I know that was fast, but I don't know how to make that more complicated. I mean, the scripted part kind of got a little complicated there. I might even take that out for the next one. If you don't know how to use high level yet, for the love of Christmas, just go to that page and talk to them. They might offer to set it up for you for whatever it is, $199. Pay them or don't. I don't care. It doesn't matter. But either way, they'll still tell you, like, here, press this button, do all of that, and help you get it set up. It beats reading the instructions. That's my point, because ain't no one going to read the instructions. I'm not. We both know no one's doing that except for like 2 engineers or something that might be on here, like that guy, like that uncle. Where you can't figure out how to work the TV, and the uncle's like, "Where's the manual?" So go there and let them help you out, and just do this. That's it. It's not that hard. He's back.
Frank, we got a lot of questions, and I'm not going to
math.
Yeah, I know the answer, and I think we're onto something here. But what if one question is, what if you're out of the country and you want to start working with people in a specific area outside of your country?
Why? That's kind of like saying, okay, I know I can drive up the mountain, but what if I want to get on my hands and do a handstand and try to somehow handstand walk up the mountain? And it's like, well, I mean, I guess you could, but why not just drive up the mountain? And then the answer is going to be like, well, the people in my country are all like, they're terrible and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, maybe, but I bet they're not all terrible. Like, just get a couple there so you can work the kinks out. You know what I mean? And then if you want to go to another region or whatever, it's fine. But take advantage of the lowest hanging fruit so you can at least practice and get that whole yeah, but stuff out of the way, and let your brain conclude that, damn, this really is just like send these emails out and then show people how it works. And like, okay, what else can I help you with? And then let them ask you how much it is. Like, that's the whole thing. And then once that clicks, you probably won't be worried about going into another country. And that is the exact same thing I would tell people when they would pay me $40,000 to consult with them. Like, I'm doing real good in the Netherlands and just totally dominating. And like, how many customers you got? 2,000? Like, great. How many people live in the Netherlands? I don't know, 14 million, whatever it is. I'm thinking about breaking into the United States. I'm like, well, or crazy, what if you just kept doing the stuff that's working in the Netherlands, but did a whole lot more of it? That's the exact same thing, but you just didn't have to pay 40 grand.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, I do the same dumb stuff, so
it's the over. So the next thing is here is what. So next question is here's what's next.
You set it up for them. Yeah, so you take the money, and then you like set up their account, and hell, you might as well do it while you got them on the phone. Be like, dude, okay, I'm going to set this up for you right now. It's going to take 5 minutes. I'm going to save you another conversation. Don't ask them. Just tell, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to set this up for you right now. So in high level installing, like setting up a new account, you just press buttons. All right, so I'm going to put your business name as this, and what's your address? What phone number do you want me to use for it? Okay, cool. What email do you want me to use for it? All right, awesome. I'm going to build some stuff out for you, and then I'm going to show you how everything works, and I'm going to pre-automate as much as I possibly can. And then if you want me to tweak any of this stuff, we will before we flip it on for you. That sound cool? Great. Okay. When do you want me to follow up with you and show you the thing that's done so we can make any changes that you want? Because I'm assuming you don't want to do all this work yourself, right? Oh, I don't want to do all that. All right, great. That's how you do it. And there's a snapshot already made I can never remember the name of it. Is it high level? Is it university dot high level?
High level university is the local hero playbook.
That's what I meant to say. But is it in the thing called university something?
Yes, it's in the high level university in the app. You go to the university tab, and it's local hero playbook.
So there's a whole pre-done snapshot that you can just install into your high level account that's already got the coolness set up for them. So you just fill it in the blanks, you don't really have to build, you don't have to like connect all of these dots or anything. You say import, cool thing, kablamo, put their name in the right place, and you're solid.
And next question here was, what if they already have a solution with getting reviews already?
Then they would not be talking to you if they were happy with it. So, like, let's say they do. Well, how is this different from Bluebird? And the only reason I know who Bluebird is because I've heard JB talk about them before. But to me, it's a bus company. They made school buses. So I'm like, you mean the people who made the school buses? But anyway, I'd be like, dude, I don't know. Why did you want me to call you? Like, where are they dropping the ball for you? That is actually like kind of a deeply manipulative question. So I'll unpack it for you. It presupposes and implants the embedded idea in their brain that they are unhappy with their current solution. Where is it dropping the ball for you? Presupposes that it is, in fact, dropping the ball for you. So if I were a horrible attorney and I was cross-examining JB and I was trying to make the jury think that, he just randomly beat up people at night, I would be like, JB, why is it exactly, or how often do you randomly beat up people at night and why? I'm presupposing that he does that. He may very well never do that. But to someone listening, they're like, oh my God, this guy, it's the same thing. It's like this weird dark arts of persuasion stuff. But just questions like that, if they were happy with it, they wouldn't be talking to you.
And that'll do it. And folks, you have it straight from Frank Kern himself. Marketer for the last, 3 decades, Frank?
Almost 26 years. Yeah. And I'll tell you the secret to making this work is A, doing it, but B, like 0 F words given. Be polite, but just don't care. If they sign up, great. If they don't, just be detached because there's so freaking many of them. And the reason I'm telling you that is not out of arrogance or whatever. It's because when you truly are like, yeah, whatever, man, you want it or not, it gives off this energy of profound confidence, and it makes them more likely to want to do it when there's absolutely no desperation from you whatsoever. And it's also like way less stressful if you just accept the fact that some people say no, it doesn't matter because there's so many more of them. There's one of you, like I said yesterday, every single one of us in the entire marketing universe could work 24/7 and we would never be able to meet the demand from small business for marketing solutions ever. There's just not enough of us to go around, and that's a good thing.
Do parting words for 3 types of people. First type of person, if you could do parting words for, is the technical person. The person right now that's asking, or the persons or people that are asking, snapshot, are there 13, 14, 22 different automations, emails, the complicated techie stuff that does make a big difference. But in this particular case, with the way that the reputation management set up, it's not 100% necessary. It's a nice to have. Could you give some parting words to that person just to kind of, what's the next step for them based on that type of, second nature of let's build something on top of building what's already built?
Well, it depends on your preference. So if you because you guys have made it now where I think the snapshot's not even necessary. You just press buttons, So high level loves to improve stuff. And then right when, you build like a custom thing, they make your custom thing completely unnecessary. Thanks, y'all. That's actually good from a user standpoint. So you could just press the buttons for them. Or if you're a techie type person, you could use the pre-made snapshot. This is a little bit more complex, but here's the thing about the pre-made snapshots. They are basically like these automated things, and they have different colored boxes. And the boxes that are not green are boxes you don't mess with. The boxes that are green are boxes where you fill in the blanks. And that's the best way to explain it, because the non-green boxes are the ones that like have wait timers and like conditions, right? If this person did this, if this person did that, do this and that. Don't mess with those things. Just click on the green boxes and put the right words in there. And the right words are going to be their business name and stuff.
And then parting words for the person that is super administrative salesy, meaning they're putting folders together, they're organizing their process, they're putting together a new onboarding service portion of things. They're prepping new emails. They're not quite selling yet. They're getting ready to sell, eventually selling.
I'm great at that with fitness. Yeah. I'm perpetually almost ready to go to the gym. And I did go. I mean, admittedly, I've been as recently as 2020. But dude, stop doing that. That's just a way of doing stuff that's comfortable, so you can put off doing the uncomfortable thing, which is risking hearing no. You'll hear a no, and it's okay. It's not going to be no, and not only no, I'm going to attack you. It's just like, yeah, that's the worst thing. So don't do all that. There's no need to. It's just extra work, and we both know what it really is, because I do it with other stuff. You know, I do it like I'll build all kinds of automated stuff instead of like having to do grown up things such as administrative tasks. I'll do creative stuff instead that's unnecessary. So just as guilty as you are, don't do that. Same advice I give myself.
And then the last one is the person that found out about this through online search. They're maybe in a corporate job right now. Maybe they've dabbled with marketing in a profession of where they're working or where they've worked in the past, and now they want to do it on their own. They want to get started with their marketing agency. They want to get into the industry. What parting words could you give for them?
What's the difference? They work in
It's
a.
brand new. They don't know how to start a marketing agency. They don't know what's really required with a digital marketing. They don't know all the bad to overshadow the good.
Oh my God, dude. Okay. So I don't even consider this a marketing agency. You're the dude down the road that sells the thing that gets the reputation stuff fixed. And I don't even use the word reputation. Like, you're the dude down the road that sells the thing that gets reviews. You're not a marketing agency. That's going to turn them off. You know, when a local business owner hears a marketing agency, if they've ever worked with a marketing agency, most of them are terrible. It's usually because the business owners don't follow up with their leads, by the way. Marketing agencies are fine, but business owners are like, it didn't work. I'm like, well, dude, I'm showing you had like 8,000 phone calls. What the hell happened? Well, we didn't call them back. Okay, it's our fault. So don't say marketing agency. Here, I'm Frank, and I sell the thing that gets you more reviews. That's it. So don't worry about that. I know it's counterintuitive, especially when everyone in our little bubble, because we're all seeing the same stuff on social media. It's like agency, agency, agency. Man, I've had like 4 agencies. I think it's either 4 or 5. The biggest one got to almost, and now I can't remember. This is embarrassing. Almost 900 grand a month, or almost 800 grand a month in billings, and it damn near killed me. I mean, it was horrible. It's so stressful. This ain't a marketing agency, man. We're just selling a thing. We're just the guy that gets the reviews for you. So much better, low maintenance. The agency is all about creative work and managing budgets and running campaigns and basically never having a satisfied customer. You're like a utility, like the cable bill. You just sell this thing that works. Like my phone service. I don't even know how much it costs, but I've got to have it. That's a way better positioning and a way better way to look at it.
Now, Frank, when you've had your customers using high level, you have support for them. You've added resources so they can kind of work things on their own and then work things through professional support. This live dash walkthrough call that to go on, someone that kind of knows what they're doing already, do you still recommend them to do it? Like what's from an expert who's been doing this for years? Why is help always still good, even though you might know what you think you know what you're doing? Why is it important to jump on a call like this after you get off a workshop with laughing, having a good time, learning, and being prepared to be fully equipped to do the job? Why do this now?
Why sell the reviews thing?
No, why get more help with the live walkthrough to sell the reviews thing?
Oh, good Lord, because they see it. And they see you and they hear you and they know that you're a real person. Like they're no different than us, other than they don't live in the marketing universe. So maybe they're slightly less jaded than we are, but still, this ain't their first rodeo, most likely, unless they're a brand new business. And they typically like have already worked with the salesy kind of person. If they see you as the person down the road, and you're not even trying to sell them the damn thing. You're saying, here's the stuff you got to have. I got the stuff, or you can get it somewhere else. I don't know. But if you want me to help you, I will. That's just, it just works. So it's like, well, why would we want to do anything other than that? Like, it doesn't make any sense. I build some complicated stuff, and I have sold to like thousands of people high level, and we quit taking new users to my white label in August of last year, and good Lord, we had like, I think we still have like 1,000 something active users, but if I had all of it to do over again, because I went crazy, I built like 30 different custom campaigns for people and all of this kind of stuff. I was like, I want to make it where they can do anything. What I learned is most people didn't do any of the stuff that I pre-built, with the exception of like one web page style and one email sequence. And all that the other stuff did was serve to overwhelm them and freak them out. So if I were to do all of that again, I would have not built 9 million custom cool things, like every one of my proprietary campaign strategies and all this. I just wouldn't have put them in there because people didn't use them. They just used like this particular type of landing page and a 7-day sequence with a deadline. And that was it. That's what anyone really wanted. And they could have just stopped there. When you're talking to these folks, they just want more reviews. There's no need to complicate it. If you want to sell them something later, knock yourself out. Personally, I wouldn't. I'd prefer to have a whole lot of low maintenance people that just pay every month and I don't really have to deal with anything because it's kind of set it and forget it, than make a little bit more money but work 40 times harder. That's not for me. But I'm also very bad as a manager, and I expect the people who work for me to be telepathic and psychic. So that might also have something to do with it.
Wow, that was a powerful nugget. 1,000 users. What you learned, keep it
Oh,
super
we did more
simple,
than
and
a
you'll stay
thousand.
forever.
Yeah, I'm just meant like currently. I think we still have around 1,000.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that, Frank. Look, y'all. He's been doing this for a long, long time, and we appreciate having Frank on here. Frank, send us home, man. We gotta shut off this stream here. We got some work to do with our next workshop planning here. Close this out.
All right. I don't care what you're doing. If you are truly helping small businesses succeed, then you are doing, for lack of a better phrase, God's work. And excuse me, I'm not trying to push any spirituality on people, but it's just a cool phrase. It is a good thing to do. You are making a valuable contribution to society. I don't care what country you're in. Well, probably there's some where it doesn't count, but for the majority of the free world, the backbone of that country are the small businesses that keep everything going. They're the ones that provide the jobs, they pay the taxes, they innovate. And without them, the country is hosed. So when you help those people, you're not only like doing something cool for another human being, helping someone provide for their family and stuff, but the ripple effect of what can happen when a business makes it versus when it doesn't is profound. Because if the business makes it and continues to grow, that means there's more jobs for people. And that means the little radius within a mile of that business or something, that whole area flourishes even more. So the mere act of you doing that in any capacity, whether you're selling this stuff or you're advising them or something, as long as you actually help these folks, in my opinion, is right up there with being a physician or something in terms of the level of value and just overall goodness that you're providing to society as a whole. So you're choosing, again, this is subjective is my opinion, but you're choosing a very good path to go down. Just be cool to them and actually help them. which is why I recommend this one tool, because it's really hard not to help them with this one tool, you know. So good on you for even considering going down this road. I went down it 26 years ago. I'm really glad I did. It's been fun. Here's to another 26, you know, and hopefully you will have an even longer and more fruitful experience than I did.
Absolutely. Well, Frank, thank you so much. It looks like we got some great people just showing appreciation here. I'm throwing them across the screen. Frank, as always, we appreciate what you do to help our new customers and existing customers to learn how to use high level with confidence, not get in the way of themselves. And we appreciate you. Till the next one, y'all. We're going to head out of here. Throw us in the comments what your biggest takeaway was, what you enjoyed most. And if Frank Kern were to come out with his own book on how to talk and present like Frank Kern, would you buy it? Let us know in the comments. You never know. So thank y'all, Frank. Ready to roll?
Yeah, man. All right, let's see.